So a funny story, Kai, which I think is probably funny. Kai was on Lil Yachty's podcast and he told a story about how you got him into the club. What happened with that? What's the story behind that?
I was pulling up to Highlight Room. I was in my X7. I had it matte. I had it wrapped green at the time.
Yeah.
And when I was pulling up, I had seen him on the other side of the street. And then like I turned my music down and I'm like, yo, what's up? Ain't you crapping?
Yo, 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 it's your boy Hakeem, and you are watching Our Generation Music. And today I got a very special interview for y'all. Chicago's own Polo G. What's up, my boy?
What's up, man?
How you, man?
Chilling, man, working.
I feel that, man. It's almost that time. Project's about to come out this week. Your team had let us know that you were in the studio all night working with Baby, somebody you've worked with a lot. A lot of bangers you guys have put out together. Now you're in full on press mode doing the press. A lot of people, artists, even artists coming up, they don't know. They might see the flashy shit, being a rapper, performing, the cars, the money, but they don't know, about this. Like you got a bunch of things you got to get done, to put a project out. Talk a little bit about that.
You saying like the process that
Yeah, what other people might not see.
this is the type of thing you really work to the last bell. Like anything could be changed. Cause it's like art though. And it's like something that we want to be perfect. So we put a lot of pressure on the project that we dropping as artists, you know. But the work aspect, like it's a lot of things that go into it, especially doing these press runs and interviews. You got to be ready to talk.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, that's facts. You got a lot of people, you've also, worked with and new people you're going to collaborate with. How did you go about, finding a song for everybody, Because you got a very mixed, wide variety. You got Friday, Kid Leroy, Offset, Future, G Herbo, 42 Doug, Honcho.
I really always just go off the vibe of the song, listening to it enough to see what style is this similar to. Because most of the time I go get a feature, I feel like I stepped outside of my comfort zone with like what I naturally make. And I'll go get the best artist to fit that sound though. I don't never force features like have a feature goal list. It's just really the type of music I make. That's what I go off for.
Has there ever been a moment when you felt like you were forcing a feature and you're like, maybe halfway through, like, yeah, I might not do this, and you end up doing it and you end up hating it?
No, hell no. I ain't never tried to force a feature. I always, like I said, I always go off of how the music sound.
Another thing I saw, dope on your rollout is you took it back, right? You posted that picture of you at the liquor store. You seen Polo G coming up, and now Polo G, where he's at, about to give you this project. Talk about the significance of that liquor store.
That liquor store, man. I used to hustle in front of that liquor store on the west side of Chicago. I mean, like just coming back to that area, being where I'm at in my life now, it mean a lot to me because I know I went through a lot of shit just standing right there. So just to be so far removed from that, where that's turned back into foreign land to me, like I ain't been right there in so long. It's like
How many
a
years?
humbling experience almost. I say like 6 years. I ain't
Wow.
never went back. Like that ain't no place to stand. I ain't gonna lie.
You can definitely tell.
There ain't
But
no
so, what
place to
was the
stand.
initial feeling like that first, just stepping out? Like, whoa, was it like? What was it like?
My first thought was like, damn, I came a long ass way.
And that's what you put in the caption too. So it definitely felt like a whole moment.
Yeah, cause the atmosphere, man. It's like now me being in that type of area, like I know what I come from. Everybody else know what I come from. But me being in that type of area, and now to feel at a place where this was like my natural habitat, it's like really show like where I'm at in my life in comparison to my come up.
Your environment changes everything, and then Polo G blows up as an artist. Your whole life changes. I feel like one thing artists don't really talk about is like the culture shock of like getting money and being successful. You have a
Yeah.
moment that you realize like, oh, my whole culture, I'm having a culture shock.
It was really transitioning from living in the Chi to Cali and staying in Calabasas for as long, because I probably stayed in Calabasas the first 2.5 years of being in California. And it was like a large difference from what I came up on, you know.
Was it like a coyote running around or some shit? They be
Now, we
crazy
got
out here.
coyotes in Chicago. It was just like the whole entire atmosphere just seemed much more peaceful.
Yeah.
And then like waking up, seeing palm trees, everything just seemed luxury here. And it's like, it was inspiring me to keep on being on the path that I was on.
Hood poet, acronym for he overcame obstacle during pain or emotional trauma. Talk about, how you came to the point of figuring out the title of the project and what it means to you.
When I was working with Southside in the studio, I was coming up with a lot of different names, and like, because I was primarily working with him in the beginning, I wanted to name the project Northside, because I'm from Northside, his name's Southside. I thought it would have been dope, and I ended up wanting to take a more serious turn to it, like listening to all the music and feeling like what the theme was. And a long time ago, in my comment section, like 2021, or 2020 or 2021, somebody called me a hood poet in the comments, and it stuck with me. And I remember Southside saying that I should make the album title be an acronym. So that's when I went back to hood poet and came up with that.
I feel that. That's like, you ever seen the memes of like Shakespeare like looking over a rapper, like somebody's hand, and be like, now it's like you Shakespeare trying to steal from Polo G and shit.
Yeah, I can see that.
What do you feel like, with every new album, you're always going to like learn something about yourself and, discovery, because you're giving so much as an artist. What did you feel like you learned about yourself during this project?
I really learned a lot of new habits in the studio, or just learned myself as far as like scheduling, because everything count, like, in being on point with music. Like, sometimes you, as an artist, you might want to be under the control of whatever you like to do, like if you smoke, drink, to really push you to record. But me being in a point where I wanted to be sober, I had to learn how to coordinate that way. Like, I probably need to go to bed by like 12, so when I wake up, I go to the gym and take a nap right before I get to the studio at 4, like planning my day a little better and learning like what I do and don't like as far as my recording process.
Yeah, and you said now you're sober, which is a big thing. Congratulations on that. There's always this like online, once an artist goes and tells the world like I'm sober now, they're just like, oh, the music might not hit the same or this and that. Did those thoughts or that outside noise like get in your head or anything about that?
No, cause I know, like, I really just go off what's best for me, to be honest. Like, I don't really care about none of that shit. I ain't finna let nobody from a distance convince me that I need to take drugs to do my job.
It's kind of crazy, like, that, fans and people that consume the music, like, once sometimes they hear that and they're just like, oh, the music might not hit the same, this and that. Like, it's like, bro, I'm trying to be sober. I'm trying to give you a whole different version of me,
Yeah, and with that messed up mindset, they ain't never gonna be able to accept the new you.
How do you feel about people accepting the new you? Everything new you're about to give them on the project.
I mean, of course, I want them to, like, be able to appreciate it, but I ain't too hell-bent on the acceptance of it. I feel like that part would just drive you crazy, thinking too much about it. Because I done been through those type of phases in my career where I cared too much about what everybody thought. And it kind of derail your creative process, because now you thinking too hard and instead of just going with the flow.
Yeah, because I definitely feel like you're one of the artists that people online kind of say, oh, every song sounds the same, this and that. And it's just like, this is how I communicate, though,
Yeah, and I feel like that's the farthest thing from the truth. Because I make a lot of different type of sounds or music. Two sounds primarily being like a hard drill rap type style, and then me doing melodic. Like them two totally different styles they sell.
Well, with this project, right? What do you want people to take away from it? Like, what is something you want them to gain when listening to it?
That is a beautiful, cohesive piece of art. I feel like everything flows pretty well. And I definitely brought my A game on the album. I feel like this, it's in competition with the GOAT. Like, cause that was one of my more cohesive. I think all of my projects kind of like that.
You're a rapper. You're supposed to say that.
Yeah, but like no, I feel like it's true though. Like I don't feel like I'm being biased, but I think this is one of my better ones though.
What do you feel like really separates it? Like, what do you feel like if you had to point out a few things or one thing that, this definitely separates my project?
The production right off the bat, I really went hard with finding the right producers to start off with for ideas, and then getting like great post-production done with my tracks, working with a new mixer and Jason Joshua.
Okay.
Like, I really took a lot of different angles from it, and then just from a skill set standpoint, I feel like I learned a lot of more techniques, a lot of techniques on the just purely rapping side, like, or even singing. Like I got better with time.
How did you come about learning these techniques? Was it like just from repetition in general, or like you maybe watched one of your favorite artists or did some research and like, this is how you might enhance this style of rapping or this part of rapping? Like, how did you come about that?
It could be research. Sometimes I do like vocal lessons.
Okay.
Vocal classes. I'm willing to learn anything. So if somebody was to give me a pointer on how to approach something, I'm gonna listen.
You gotta be a student, man. That's the only way you're really gonna grow. I like that you said that you went to vocal classes, because I don't feel like a lot of street artists are gonna go to take some vocal lessons,
Yeah, I mean, when you playing with the melodic style of rap, it's basically singing, and you want to be like, I know personally, I want to be the best at whatever I'm doing. Yeah. I feel like you can give a better message when you know exactly how to sing with you, because a lot of this is just raw vocal.
And auto-tune.
Yeah, like we ain't really learned how to use our voices as an instrument.
Correctly, yeah. Talk a little bit about like these producers in general that you brought together to make this body of work.
Yeah, like I say, I started out with Southside. He brought on his team. He got a lot of producers. I was primarily working with his producer, Smat. Certain tracks that was outside of him, like producers that I already had chemistry with, like ATL Jacob, Oz on the track from Chicago. Like,
did you challenge them too? Like, I need something different, or like, what were those conversations like to create this project for you?
It was all a personal challenge. Like, I came in with a mindset like I don't want to do the same thing. I want to connect back to my roots, but I still want to come in a different way. So I tried a lot of like different styles that I wouldn't usually.
Were you recording anyway differently? Like, did you record on loops, for instance, maybe to start out and then add drums, or like anything like that?
I did a million different things though, like
what was the
to
one that
switch
stood
up
out?
my process. One thing I could say is freestyling. Like, I never used to do that as an artist. I always wrote everything. But like now, being deeper in, like I know how to freestyle a whole song front to back. Like line by line though, I ain't like I'm
punching in.
Punching in.
But what made you want to change that up? Because I feel like this is damn near a lost art to really see a nigga put pen to pad now.
Cause certain songs don't really, like certain songs so simple that you can just write it in your head. Like when it's two different types of songs. It's a song with like one specific subject, and then it's songs where you just talking your shit. I feel like when you stepping into that lane, that's when you can really freestyle off the dome, cause the talking your shit songs more so go off the right now feeling.
Yeah, like nigga.
Yeah.
It's funny too, and you mentioned Southside. I remember Southside being, I forgot who he told that, but he was like, bro, you sitting here writing. It might have been G Herbo or somebody. He might have told, like, yo, you sitting here writing. The studio costs like however how much an hour. Like, nigga, you better go in there and punch in. And then he changed some. I forgot the artist. It might have been G Herbo or Waka Flocka, one of them. That he's like, yo, nigga, go ahead and punch in. Like, and then they got way more songs done. Freestyling, though, you always go viral when you freestyle. Like, I feel like every time you drop a freestyle, I see Polo G everywhere.
That's usually what happens.
And now to find out that you were always writing, it's kind of crazy, you know?
I'm real deep into my pen game, though. Like, even though I freestyle now, I never stray away from that. I feel like that's the best way to organize your thoughts for real.
Yeah.
So, like I say, certain songs, it's okay to write to, but.
Yeah. Was there a period that you ever had writer's block, and like however long did that take to get over? Or a period where you just wasn't making music?
I get writer's block pretty consistently. I think it's probably something to do with my anxiety issues. Like, it's harder to think when you got a lot weighing on you mentally, because I get a lot of mental blocks.
How do you like get yourself out that to, you know, start recording and shit again?
I just try to find something that'll inspire me, like something that'll pull me out of that hole.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go to the studio every day. I don't care if I didn't make nothing the day before, if I struggle, like I'm gonna always come back because I feel like I'm gonna figure it out.
Got it. It could be anything, like a movie. Like, do you have like a go-to, like, yo, this is like my reset show. Like, I gotta watch this to get like re-comfortable and re-on course for the mission. For me, it's like my reset show is this show, How to Make It in America. It's about these kids in New York trying to start a denim line. You have like a show like that like, you know, re-inspires you on the journey, or a movie?
No, not for real. I was just like watching Martin, watching the Boondocks. I've been watching this other show, The Boys. You ever heard of that?
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a good show.
What the fuck? Who put you on to The Boys?
I used to see a lot of Homelander memes on Twitter, but I never really knew what that was from. And I screenshotted it one time to watch it. Then an engineer I work with was putting me up on game to like what the show was about. Mm-hmm. And I just randomly clicked on it on, it's on Prime or Netflix?
Nah, it's on Prime.
Yeah, on Prime, and I've been locked in with it ever since. I feel like it's a good show.
Such a good show. So if you so you probably have thought about this a few times. Like, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? What would Polo G's power be in The Boys?
I'll say something to do with like super strength, or just being like smart as hell, like knowing everything.
Just like a brainiac, like Professor X type shit?
It's damn near no situation that you can't think yourself out of. You just gotta know.
You gotta throw a little bit of telepathy with the brainiac though. Like, I feel like that goes hand in hand. Like, yeah. I think Professor X kind of like made me realize I don't want to be super smart and not have telepathy powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking on being super smart, you did get you were accepted to Lincoln University, HBCU. Mm-hmm. You ever think about how differently your life could be if you went to school and wasn't the rapper Polo G?
For a long time, I really always was on the fence about going back to college regardless. I mean, going to college regardless, because I never even went, but I always wanted that experience. I think it would have been a dope experience.
Yeah.
And I think people who actually experience college, depending on what they was able to grasp from it, they had an advantage, like in life.
Well, being from Chicago, obviously, some of the greatest have came out of Chicago. Dirk, Sosa, Ye, one of my favorites, Lupe. I gotta know Polo G's Chicago's Mount Rushmore.
Chief Keef on there. I'll put Ye on there. I'll put G Herbo on there. I'll put Vaughn. And I'll put Juice WRLD. And these only because I'm excluding myself.
As you should, as a rapper would.
Yeah.
Nah, obviously R.I.P. Juice. I was gonna talk about him a little later, but since you brought him up, definitely just a one-on-one talent. Like, I witnessed this man freestyle like 5 songs, and they're all bangers in like an hour. like absolutely crazy work ethic. Talk a little bit about your, relationship with Juice WRLD and everything.
Juice WRLD, that was just my homie, I used to just kick it with Broski a lot. Really just chill with him, like, aside from music though, like, that was just my homie. We was locked in.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing I learned from Juice is to like always be childlike still. Like he's always playing his games and skateboarding.
Yeah.
And just, big smile, and it just every time you see you, it's always love. Did you learn anything from Juice WRLD, like, or anything like that?
I learned from him how to tap into your inner rock star, Like out of the artists, all the artists from Chicago, our styles is probably the most different. Like leaning towards like street pop music almost. Like
Yeah.
anybody could listen to this music for real. That's why I feel like he made me dive even deeper into that bag.
Like listening to some alternative stuff?
No, just coming differently. Like, I feel like certain songs that I got don't sound like your average rap songs. And being around him and seeing him make all different types of music will really open my eyes to like what I was capable of too.
Yeah, definitely. He was definitely limitless and fearless in the sense of, creatively, like what he's willing to try, put out, even fashion-wise, all types of ways, That's definitely one thing I loved about him. He had all types of bags he can go into. A funny story, Kai, which I think is probably funny, Kai was on Lil Yachty's podcast and he told a story about how you got him into the club. What happened with that? What's the story behind that?
I was pulling up to Highlight Room. I was in my X7. I had it wrapped green at the time.
Yeah.
And when I was pulling up, I had seen him on the other side of the street. And then like I turned my music down and I'm like, yo, what's up? Ain't you cat? At the time he like was still doing his shit in the Bronx.
He wasn't as big?
No, not at all. He was probably still like on the rise, on his come up stage. But I surf YouTube so much that and watch damn near everything I see on there that I was hip to him early on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told him like keep going crazy, keep going up. Now shit, he is he's out of this world.
Boy, Kai richer than a lot of rappers, man.
Yeah.
Shit crazy, man. It's crazy. You said YouTube, right? Like, so I'm guessing your like YouTube recommendation is probably all over the place.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you feel like you consume the most then?
A lot of informational videos, like a lot of stuff about mental health. Watching a lot of stuff like that. A lot of boxing videos too, or basketball.
Okay. You're a highlight guy. You're a highlight guy, or like someone that watches a whole basketball game? Because I feel like I only choose certain games to watch, and then I'm more of like I'm gonna watch the highlights.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like in the middle.
It got to be a good matchup for me to really sit there and watch the whole fucking game.
Yeah, I think just how our phones messed up our attention span, because back then we don't care who was playing on
You just
TV.
watch the game.
You just watch the game. You would sit there through it. A blowout, it don't matter. You gonna watch that game. Like now with highlights being so prevalent, like man.
Bro, you see some of the highlights that's been out for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, already 500,000 views.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Because everybody rather casually watch it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we're definitely like, even how we're, obviously consuming information is very so casual, and just people even casually saying shit online, like just not even thinking before they say shit.
They probably won't never say in real life.
Never. Never see your ops and your haters in real life or at the bank. Well, we usually do this to close it out and everything. What is your message for our generation, brother?
Is to let go all habits that don't really benefit you, and never let your habits outweigh your hustle. Find you a niche and stick to that. I feel like a lot of kids get lost in what's going on right now, or indulging in certain things that they feel like is cool. But like you gotta have tunnel vision if you wanna grow up to be like somebody successful,
Definitely. Polo, appreciate you, my boy.